This is Torquay. It's a popular seaside town on the south coast of England, in an area known as the English Riviera. It was also the birthplace and home of Aghata Christy, the best-selling fiction writer in the world. She sold over 2 billion copies of her 80 novels, and her books have been translated into over 100 different languages. Aghata was born in Torquay on the 15th of September 1890. Her father was from the USA, but her mother was British. You can walk around the town and learn all about her life and work. And every September, there's a Christy festival in Torquay. Aghata didn't go to school. She had lessons at home. One of her neighbours was a writer, and he encouraged her to write. In 1914, she married a pilot, Archie Christy. They spent their honeymoon in the Grand Hotel in Torquay. In 1920, she sold her first novel to a publisher. They paid her £25 for the story. The Mysterious Affair at Styles was a crime thriller. Over the next few years, she published a book nearly every year. Aghata loved writing, but she hated being a celebrity. She rarely did interviews, and she didn't like people taking photographs of her. But in December 1926, she became very famous when she walked out of her home and disappeared. The police looked for her everywhere, and her photograph was on the front cover of all the newspapers. Some people thought that her husband Archie had murdered her. But 11 days later, a man recognised her in a hotel over 200 miles away in Harrogate, in the north of England. She was using a different name and couldn't remember anything about the past 10 days. Her disappearance is still a mystery. Aghata continued to write detective stories. She also wrote 6 romantic novels. She published these novels using the name Mary Westmacott. For 20 years, no one knew that Mary Westmacott was Aghata Christy. She wrote her autobiography too. It took her 15 years to write. She wrote over 80 books before she died in 1976. Her books are still very popular, and many of her books have been made into films and TV programmes. 2 of her most famous characters are a little old lady who solves mysteries called Miss Marple, and a detective from Belgium called Hercule Poirot. Unfortunately, Aghata Christy died just before her last Miss Marple book was published in 1976. But today, people still buy her books, watch her characters on screen, and she's still the Queen of Crime.